What's up guys, thanks for watching. Super excited about this episode today. I'm pretty sure that as of today, we're the first ones to release this product for this chassis. We're gonna show you a little bit of what we did and how easy it can be for one of you guys who have this car at home, so stay tuned. All right guys, so before we get to installing the roll cage for this 992, again, I think this is the first cage in the aftermarket that's available for all Porsche 992s, but I just wanted to briefly talk about, how Porsche's DNA over the last 70 years or more hasn't changed on the 911, starting with the 356 throughout all the generations, and then obviously with the 997 being the most popular chassis, and then moving on to the 991 getting even more popular. Now the 992 has just begun within the last year or so, and you're starting to see more and more 992 Carreras on the street. You even see some turbos, and then the GT3 is just about to hit the market, so hopefully we get to see some of those on the road soon. But yeah, we're hoping that our roll cage design for the 992 will be the same as the previous generations, where the 997 roll cage and the 991 roll cage all fit all the different various Carrera models, from the base Carrera, the Carrera S, 4S, and then all the way up to the GT3 and the GT2 RS. So let's take a look at the cage in detail. For you guys that are watching that are more of a Porsche purist, the roll cage is something that you can also make stand out from the rest of the crowd, but also you can have it colored in a way that it'll look like it's a factory bar, because we do use factory mounting points, and the fitment of the cage is to the tightest tolerance with the correct and exact symmetry on both sides. So obviously this cage is yellow. This is for Inozetek's SEMA Carrera 992S, so it's gonna pop a lot. This cage is actually the second cage that's going into a 992. We didn't have a chance to film our first 992 customer because he recently got the car and then immediately started tracking it. That was a white 992 Carrera S, and then he decided to go with a black roll bar. That one looks very OEM plus, almost like something that you can get as a factory option directly from Porsche. Obviously you can't do that in the US, but you can in almost every other country. Hopefully the 992 GT3 will have that option from the dealership, so we're looking forward to see if that's still the case, just like with the 991 GT3. But going over the cage a little bit, the most unique feature of our design is the interlocking tubing clamps. You can buy these clamps that are toothed from a lot of fabrication sources online, but we do have these machined particularly to every design that we make, because I'll show you guys in a little bit, but we have them machined exactly for every model, so that way that this piece that's connecting it to the main hoop doesn't have that extra weld, where if you bought a generic clamp, you'd have to weld this piece to another tube to get it to the correct length to connect to the main hoop. So this way, when we get a machine, they're the exact length that they need to be for every specific model, and that gives you that added strength and rigidity. Just like on the 991 as well, the same rear section has that place on the frame on the 992 where Porsche would like the cage to go. Obviously on the 991 they actually had pre-threaded drill spot, or they actually had pre-threaded holes to where their factory cage would go. So we're gonna use those same plates. Again, our plates are all made in-house and designed in-house. And then this center hole is not actually for a bolt, it's for a stud placement that Porsche puts in to let you know where it's supposed to go. And then moving on to the front, it's the same thing. The main hoop mounts directly to where Porsche wants their factory cage to go. We design and cut these plates exactly how you can bolt these in directly to your car without any permanent modification, and we even use the factory bolt where this plate mounts to the chassis. All right, so enough of showing you guys this stuff outside of the car. Let's get these pieces inside and show you exactly what they look like. So once you lift up this back piece of carpet from the trim, pull it out from the side trims. I'm just gonna tuck this up here so you guys can see. Here are the mounting locations. And then that centering stud that we were showing you earlier on the mounting plate for the rear section. So on the 991s, these are actually pre-drilled from Porsche because obviously the factory Porsche cage is an option in every other country, it seems like, except for the US. But on the 992s, we found out when we developed on the first car that they are not drilled. So the holes back here are no longer threaded from the factory. So it'll be interesting to see if the 992 GT3 will have those pre-threaded from the factory. I wouldn't be surprised if they were on the GT3, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they weren't because the chassis are so similar. All right guys, we got the cage installed. We want to give a special shout out and thank you to Michael from Impressive Wrap and Greg from Inozetek for giving us some extra time with the car. It's been a crazy rush because the car is going to go to SEMA in a couple hours to be featured in Inozetek's booth. So if you guys are going to be at SEMA, make sure to check it out. If not, check out Inozetek and Impressive Wrap's Instagram, and our Instagram as well is @StudioRSR. And if you want more information about the cage, please feel free to reach out to us. Our email is info@StudioRSR.com and our website's www.studiorsr.com. We're really excited to see these 992s hit the street, and we have a buddy who's got a 992 GT3 on order, so stay tuned for that video, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks guys.